everybody, it's Oracle684, a long time doing a video where I'm on camera. I'm going to talk to you about Dark Phoenix. I seen it today. As you know, I got my Kitty Pryde t-shirt on. Of course, you know, she's not in the film. This is one of those movies that a lot of fans of the X-Men universe, is what I'm calling it, is a huge disappointment. I read the Dark Phoenix storyline. I actually got the graphic novel. There are a lot of things that are missing in. There are a lot of things that are missing from the comic that's in. I mean, it was supposed to be in this film. I remember when they were first talking about it, that they were going to have the Shi'ar Empire, and then they decided to change it around. And you know, it's Hollywood. Hollywood, the writers, they're going to do their own take on different things. We've seen it many times before. Personally, to me, the whole X-Men franchise that Fox has created, it's all messed up. I remember going back when I was in high school. I think I was either a junior or sophomore at the time when the first X-Men movie came out back in 2000. The theater I went to see this, I went with my friend, and I took my mom to go see it as well. And the theater that I went to see Dark Phoenix was the exact same theater that I was sitting in 19 years ago with the original X-Men back in 2000. I believe that's like around like 18 or 17 years ago, right around there. But I mean, the point is, a lot of fans are not very happy with the film, for those that have seen it, and the ones that have actually heard it from other people too. Oh, it's not good. It doesn't really match up to the Dark Phoenix storyline. I'm going to be honest with you. I can care less about them incorporating the comic book storyline into the actual film. Some people are not going to like what I'm saying here. I enjoyed the film for what it is. They did get half of the elements right. They went into space, but if you guys have seen X-Men Apocalypse, Jean Grey does have the Phoenix Force already in her in that film. And we go to Dark Phoenix here. She gets the Phoenix Force when they're in space. It's just very, very weird because the whole continuity of the X-Men Fox franchise is just so messed up. But I like this a lot better than X-Men The Last Stand, because X-Men The Last Stand had two different storylines in it. You had the Dark Phoenix, and then you had the Cure storyline, which is they found a way to cure the X-Men of the powers and stuff like that. You know, to me, I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm watching it, and I know there was I think there was one YouTuber I was watching a video on it. It was like the night before it came out, or the night of it, or Friday it came out. I think they had a Thursday night showing of it, and I watched a video Friday night on YouTube here, and some fan had said that it didn't feel like a X-Men movie, and to be really honest with you, it really didn't. And you know, to me, it was different. Sure, we didn't get to see a lot of the stuff that was from the comic book itself, this comic book storyline itself, incorporated in the film, but there were shades of Last Stand in there, like with Jean's costume. All it was a long, dark, kind of reddish, really dark reddish trench coat she had on. She had on like a red suit in Last Stand with like a long coat on. But to be really honest with you, if you ever seen like I think like the teaser posters of Dark Phoenix, where Jean Grey is actually pretty much all on fire. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I mean, you'll see that scene doesn't come in the film. I'm going to spoil it for you here. You don't ever see her like that until near the damn near end of the film. But anyways, to me, I mean, I think a lot of fans, when they go to see superhero films, they expect it to be exactly like it is out of the comic books. And you're not going to get that. Like with the original, I mean with the X-Men, the original X-Men, with the what Bryan Singer had started, you didn't have the X-Men in their actual comic book accurate costumes. But I was okay with that. I mean, it was something different, and I mean, it was a different take. I mean, sure, you're not going to have Wolverine in his mask and the yellow, blue, and black attire that he had. It's just, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you're not going to get it that way, or else it's going to be kind of cartoony, maybe. Who knows? To me, personally, I mean, I enjoyed the film, as crazy as it sounds. I think Sophia Turner, who played Jean Grey in this, reprising her role, I think she gave off a great performance. I do like how that they, with the Dark Phoenix, her eyes were like pretty much on fire. Like when you saw Famke Janssen in X2, when she started turning into the Phoenix, those flaming fiery eyes. But when you got to Last Stand with Dark Phoenix, the eyes were just pure black, like she was possessed like a demon or something, which kind of really disappointed me big time. I mean, of course, they killed off quite a few mutants there, and you know, of course, Rogue ends up curing herself where she doesn't have her abilities anymore. But I mean, despite all that, but I mean, to me, X-Men Dark Phoenix was a very different take on an X-Men film. It was just something very, very different. And sometimes, you know, with me, I do like change instead of the whole same dynamic of what we had with the First Class cast. I didn't really like the First Class era of X-Men films. The only one I really, really cared about really would probably be this film here. Apocalypse was, I mean, that film right there, I mean, the way they had Apocalypse, that was just terrible. But, you know, I sat in there, I mean, I sat in the theater, I watched it, and I'm like, you know, I mean, there were some scenes in there that, you know, they're not going to incorporate from the, you know, comic book. And that's what people need to understand. I mean, I understood the whole dynamic when the first X-Men movie came out in 2000, you know. They didn't have their costumes from the comic books. They made their own costumes for the film. I mean, for those characters. That's just, I mean, the way it is, guys. I mean, I don't know why, you know, the writers can't follow the comic book source to get the comic book accurate costumes or the comic book storylines exactly what they are in the comic books. But, you know, to me, the thing I would say, just, you know, deal with it. The Fox X-Men era is done. It's over. Disney and MCU got the rights to X-Men now, so hopefully in a couple of years we'll see a reboot of the X-Men franchise, and hopefully it's going to be better. I'm really hoping that they do Rogue justice. But yeah, X-Men Dark Phoenix, love it or hate it, I enjoyed it. That's my opinion. That's it. That's all I got to say about the film. I mean, it was different, but it's, you know, sometimes I like, you know, a different take on the actual story. This was a lot better than the Last Stand version we got. This is Oracle 684 saying off. Take care.